Hi, it's Joel Sharpton at The Rogues Life on Twitter. You can follow me too at meandthegeekpod.com, where we have a different weekly geekly conversation with a geek about their own geeky world. Right now, though, we're talking about Daredevil on Netflix, the Marvel series, the first of the 4 series, and then there's going to be a mini-series as well leading up to The Defenders. So let's get right into it. We're going to be discussing episode 6. It's called Condemned, and if you haven't watched at least up to through episode 6, I would suggest waiting to watch this video until later. Okay, here we go. The thing that strikes me about this series, especially now that I'm closing in on halfway through it, is how well Marvel does long-form storytelling. We know that from the movies already. Everyone has written about how the success that they've had in films and this string of movies that they've now put together is very much based on their continual raising the stakes. You fall in love with Iron Man in one film, and then the events that happen to him, the different trials and tribulations that he goes through, affect you just more and more as the series goes on, as he shows up in other film series, as he now next year is going to be in a Captain America movie too. It's just great. And the pushing it forward like that is what they do so well. This series has done an even better job of that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Does a pretty good job of it, but I think that's one of the main reasons why people have been disappointed with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that it hasn't lived up to the promise of what this type of storytelling should be like in the TV world. Daredevil has nailed it. In this first outing on Netflix, they've really shown that this medium fits their storytelling better than anything else so far. And 6 episodes in, I'm almost ready to say this is my favorite Marvel thing of all time. This episode brings our first actual interaction between the Kingpin and Daredevil. Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock. Either one of these guys... Neither one of these guys have actually been named on the show as Kingpin or Daredevil, but they speak through the walkie-talkie while the officer is tied up and while the Russian bleeds on the floor, while the SWAT team and the rest of Fisk's paid-off police officers surround the building. And it's wonderful. It's maybe the single best scene of the series so far. And my favorite part about it is Matt's frustration. Wilson toys with him. He calls him a child. He says that effectively he's out of his depths. And Matt has acted like a child. He was angered at what's happening to his city, and he lashed out with his fists instead of with his head. And he didn't contemplate the ramifications of his actions, both for himself and for those around him. And now he's caught like a rat in a trap. A rat that has a bleeding Russian beside him too. So we end up with this younger Russian brother deep in the sewers under Hell's Kitchen, waxing poetic to end this episode to Matt about the nature of manhood and the nature of grown-up decisions and whether or not he's willing to go that final step and take the lethal action that's required to bring down Fisk. Will Matt be willing to kill Wilson Fisk when the time and opportunity presents itself? And that's the question that we're left with. Matt doesn't make a choice there, but he does make a choice to leave the Russian behind. The gunfire that we hear and the shootout that happens off-screen as Matt makes his way out of the sewers. Matt's making the choice to continue to live, to continue to fight, and we will see what his resolve and what he thinks of the Russians' proclamations there in the sewer over whether or not he's actually going to have to kill Kingpin. I think it's amazing. I think this series has just been outstanding so far, and every episode is more compelling than the next. I believe, this isn't too big a spoiler, in that we're going to get the introduction of a character from the Daredevil mythos that has never been seen before in live action in next episode, episode 7. So very much looking forward to that. And if you are too, make sure that you subscribe to our channel to get all the videos. Until next time, I'm Joel Sharpton from Me and the Geek.